Hi, guys. We're going to talk about the next 7 years, and they're going to be shocking because the planet of shocking, unexpected changes, Uranus, is moving into Gemini. So, if you don't already know me, I'm Zervoudakis, founder of Holistic Healing Astrology. And without further ado, we are going to take a look at the ephemeris, and that is the software program that I use to look at the planets in their position. So, what we're going to do is look at where we are now, and this is going to happen in July. So, let's take a peek over here. This So you see here, Uranus is at 29 degrees, 49 minutes. And according to my notes, on the 7th of July, let's move it to the 7th, he steps into or ingresses into Gemini. Now, Gemini is an air sign. It rules communication, early education, siblings. It's how we think, how we learn, and information. It's networking. It's even any kind of information on computers, typing, news, anything that has to do with communication, whether you're listening, it has to do with books, stationery, cards, correspondences, and just use your imagination because it is communication, the big umbrella, or exchange of information, all right, networking. So, with that being said, Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So, Mercury and Gemini, and of course the third house, share the same and similar traits and energies. So we're going to have lots of shocking, exciting, earth shaking communication for the next 7 years. So look and see where Gemini is in your chart, in your natal chart, and if there are any planets in Gemini in your chart, well, you will be affected for the next 7 years. But it could be exciting, and it could be shocking. It is change. It could be weird. It could have to do with weather, all kinds of stuff. But remember that these planets work in different frequencies. In other words, you could take a glass like this one that I have, and is it half empty or half full? So it it depends on the way you look at things. And if you consider them half empty and you're pessimistic, well, that's the way you're going to see the energy of the Uranus changes. So you have the free will to choose how you're going to use that energy. Because remember, astrology does not make things happen. The moon does not make you go berserk. It just affects the body and the water in your body. So it could affect your emotions, but it's up to you to control your emotions and how you're going to react to it. Okay? But what's interesting right away in July 7th, 2025, not only are we, going into a new period of time with all this shocking information, and we already have a touch of it. We already have a preview. If you follow the world events and what's going on in the world around us, there's a lot of shocking and unexpected, weird information and communication out there. And the way we get our news is exciting, but it's different. It's not from the one TV that my family and I used to have, 60 years ago. And when we heard about JFK being assassinated, we all huddled around this little box that we had to get up and turn the thing on. We had to pull the plug out, pull the little knob out, and push the knob in. Um, so I'm thinking now, I won't even move when I'm watching TV, but with remote controls, everything has changed, and now we have smart houses, so you just tell the TV to turn on and it turns on, so we are in different times. So, and what's going to happen is the changes are going to occur very quickly because Gemini is an air sign and air moves very quickly. Unlike Taurus, the sign that Uranus was in before, it's an earth sign. And, Taurian energy is slow, planned, methodical. Gemini energy is fast, scattered, and could be a little erratical, but it's all over the place because it's very inquisitive type energy. So a lot of curious information is going to come out. But being a great astrologer, great astrologers don't just look at the one planet because the planets are not the only things going on. This one planet is not the only actor in this playing field, in this movie, in this theater. So they're all scattered around. But right now, Uranus is holding hands with the planet of love, money, Venus. So I wouldn't be surprised if eventually in the next 7 years, we start a different money system, or something that has to do with our food, major changes. But look, we just got RFK in a position where he could do something about our food, make it healthier. I don't know. We don't want to get political, but it would fit the planetary energies. So that's one thing right there. And then, so when we say a planet ingress, the ingress means it enters into a new energy, Gemini. Okay. And Gemini is mutable. That means very adaptable, very flexible, but very quick. So we already have a taste right now in February, the end of February, we're seeing these changes already. So brace yourself. We got 7 years of this. And for the record, for the next 7 years and further on, the pattern of Uranus around September, it will go retrograde for about 5 months and then it goes direct. So whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's not that bad things happen. I can't tell you how much confusion is out there because, we have Neptune in Pisces and we have a total of 5 planets in Pisces right now. So, of course, we're going to have delusion, confusion, chaos, and people just not getting it straight. They're in a little bit in a fog, and all the victims are coming out like, oh, poor me, and if that's you, snap out of it because you don't need to be a victim. And just tell yourself it's very temporary because if you keep rehashing how you're the victim, you're going to stay the victim for the rest of your life, and you don't want to do that. So you do have the free will to change things. Well, how do you change it? You have conversations with God. Now's a good time with all these planets in Pisces because Pisces rules God and the invisible forces. Okay, so I digress a little bit, but we have to when we do astrology. So there's going to be a love of communication, a love of the strange and the unexpected, and excitement. And it also has to do with weather too. So let's keep an eye on the weather. Maybe the weather is going to influence our money and or food. Okay. And we also have a relationship with these two planets. It's called a conjunction. Whenever they're holding hands or kissing or whatever you want to call it, these two actors, they have a relationship with the moon on that particular day. And the moon has to do with our emotions. And it's in Sagittarius. So people are going to be optimistic, and that will set the tone for the month of July. Okay. And it has to do with our values, higher learning, our ethics, morals, and overseas or long distance journeys and things like that. So there's going to be an obsession to get high level scientific information um, to, to calm people down. All right. We also have a relationship between these two planets, the planet of lightning bolt changes and the planet of slow, irreversible changes that you'll never go back. And that's Pluto, 2 degrees Aquarius, which is, and it's retrograde at that point in July. And it also has to do with an air sign, which has to do with quick, uh, you know, humanitarian type knowingness and technology, things like that. Okay. So the other relationship that these two planets have is this opportunity for self responsibility and getting spiritual, self spirituality. This is all working together with all this information that's coming at us. And we also have opposition to the moon as well. So there'll be a little bit of a tug of war. And also there's a little bit of a relationship between these two planets and the sun in Cancer, which has to do with nurturing and caring for the people. All right. But there will be an obsession about this because, or this urgency of this mass change. And this has to do nurturing. We talked about food. I think this is going to be an interesting time of what this all will play out to, how it's going to play out. We don't know. And then we also have an, a tug of war, another tug of war with the planet of action and aggression in Virgo, which is hypercritical, putting things in order, opposite of the North Node, what the purpose is. And it's spiritual. That's the purpose. So there's going to be, well, no, let's get practical. We got to do the practical actions. And this is like, no, let it go, let God. Let it go, let God. You see how these all work together? So it will be 7 years of this. And so just look and see where Gemini is in your chart, and you know that you're going to be affected by it. Now, we have here, just understand that on this roadway or airway, these are invisible paths in the sky that these planets travel on. So Uranus is going to go about 7 degrees 4 degrees a year. So by 2032, it will go into Cancer. All right. And every September for September, October, November, December, January, it's going to go retrograde. So retrograde means you reflect, you rewind, you review, you go inward.
It's 9 o'clock.
So that energy goes inward, all this excitement. And so it's the time that you process it for 5 months. You don't have to take action. And if you did get hit with something sudden, shocking, unexpected, exciting, and you need to digest it, that's a good time to see the positive of whatever situation that change was. So, even with Pluto changes, Pluto could mean loss. It's the end of something, but then it opens up all these other doors for opportunities. But you have to understand, why did this happen? Why is this in my movie? And was it past life? What am I getting out of it? What is my soul learning from this event? And the events could be really earth shattering, really, like knocking you on your feet. We've all had them. But how you react to it is what's key. That's the difference between success and failure. All right. You're going to get through it, but how long is it going to take? If you keep dwelling on the negative, you're going to continue to have that negative. So be careful. All right. And that's what I share with my students and my clients. It's like, watch your words, watch your thoughts. We could get through anything because the Creator would not have something lined up for us if it wasn't for us to experience the pain, take on the pain, whether it's spiritual, emotional, or physical, to get us to the next level. All right? Now, if you have any questions, because I do get to my comments, I don't always get an email that there is a new comment, but I do check my YouTube comments and on my channel. And I do appreciate your time and your indulgence. I love doing my astrology. It's my first love. I never dreamed that I would be a professional astrologer. When I grew up, it was like, you can't do astrology. That's not a career path for anybody. And the astrologers that were writing all these fantastic books back in the 60s and 70s, like Carl Jung, they were psychologists and they used the tool of astrology for their clients. And that's why if you ever pick up some older astrology books, which are great, they have a major psychological slant to them. But the tool of astrology is to help you understand A, yourself, and two, how to change yourself if you want to change. But if you want to grow as a human being or you want your soul to grow, you have to welcome the change. You can't expect others around you to change. And direct communication with God is a wonderful way to change and to improve. So thank you again. I love you all. Until the next time, if you liked it, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss out on upcoming videos. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.